All right. Good morning, everyone. So this morning we'll be taking our training on real estate insight with topic sustainability and ESG. That is environmental, social, and governance in real estate, with the sub-theme of building a greener, fairer, and more profitable future. I would want to talk briefly about the word sustainability. Before now, we use the word sustainability in different forms of life. For instance, for investment, like someone introduces an investment to you and says, okay, come and put your money in this kind of investment. The next thing some people will say is, I don't think this kind of business is sustainable. That's on the business aspect of life. And even in relationship too, this person and this person, they are in a relationship, and what another person will say, I don't think their relationship is sustainable. So there is definitely that. This now suggests that sustainability is a word that has different meaning depending on the context at which you are looking at it from. But for this training, the focus of the word sustainability will be from the aspect of the environment and the built environment in total. So firstly, I'll go to the opening quote. The opening quote says, "We don't inherit the heart from our ancestors, we borrow it from our children." It's an anonymous quote, and I believe that by the end of today's training, we'll be able to understand what this guy is actually saying, that we don't actually inherit earth. And when we say earth, it means the land and everywhere that we are living as a whole. So we don't actually inherit it from our ancestors. So by the end of this training, I know you'll be able to believe with me that the land that you are saying that I inherited it from my ancestors, you actually don't inherit it from anyone. You don't actually buy land for yourself. You've actually borrowed it from the future generation. So let's go to the training proper. So these are two neighborhoods, A and B. Neighborhood A and neighborhood B. We can see this image of neighborhood A and neighborhood B. But I want to tell us this morning that the only difference between these two neighborhoods is not just the location and luck. It is because of what has actually been put in place in the planning of this neighborhood A and neighborhood B. So the difference between the two isn't just luck or location. It is about sustainability and ESG-minded planning. One community was built with the present in mind. That is, this is built with the present in mind. We just want to have a place to live. We want to have a place where we can do our daily life. While the other community is built with the future in mind. So that's what makes the difference between this neighborhood A and neighborhood B. They are both places where humans live. It's not animals that are living in neighborhood A. It's actually humans that also live here. But the difference between this neighborhood and this neighborhood is what we are looking at today, which is sustainability and ESG-minded planning. So, what is sustainability? Sustainability means meeting today's needs without harming tomorrow's opportunities. That's just the simplest definition I can put together of what sustainability is. It's just that sustainability means meeting today's needs without harming tomorrow's opportunities. I believe we can also make some kind of connection from our opening quote to the definition of sustainability here. Sustainability is about, okay, we have these social human needs to meet. We have to live, we have to build our homes, we have to mine resources, we have to build our houses. But what sustainability is talking about is, how are we going to do these things such that the future generations, we don't jeopardize their opportunities also. This is the major basic thing that sustainability is preaching. Why we do our things, the interest of the incoming generations, the future generations are also protected. So in real estate development, sustainability involves creating healthy, livable spaces for people, using resources wisely, and building for long-term durability. And think sustainability as a balance between think sustainability as balance between what benefits the environment, the people, and the economy. Everything must go hand in hand. It's just not about the environment alone. When you talk about sustainability, there are different schools of thought about sustainability. There is one that is saying that the environment should be the main point of view. Another one is saying that technology should override everything and all. But sustainability is such that everything must be balanced. The use of technology and the environment and how it profits human wants, human needs. Everything must be such that each and every part of human life is not affected. We live comfortably and the environment also is in good shape. Now to ESG, understanding ESG. ESG in real estate is about creating buildings or cities that are good for people, good for the planet, and managed responsibly for long-term value. I will take that again. ESG in real estate is about creating buildings, cities that are good for people, good for the planet, that is the earth generally, and that is managed responsibly for long-term value. Sustainability is just like a tool for this ESG. ESG is just the whole, it encompasses everything, but sustainability is a tool towards attaining this ESG. So ESG has three main parts: the environmental factors, the social factors, and the governance factors. The environmental aspect is talking about how humans are going to reduce the harm at which we do to the environment. For instance, now in our building, when we want to erect our buildings, our structures, for instance, in Lagos State, we are reclaiming land that is formerly based on water. That we are just sand filling. But what this environmental aspect is talking about is our actions towards the environment must be such that the environment is protected. For example, we can use energy efficient designs, we can use renewable materials and good waste management. And waste management is one of the big problems that the world is battling now, because when we talk about waste generally it transcends beyond you, that you are producing the waste. Someone once said that waste has a point source, but where the effect will be felt is not within your immediate environment. Take for instance now, every one of us, we eat something in nylons and the likes that are not easily decomposed. So when we eat it, we throw it in places that we like, and people that will be experiencing flooding because of what we have done here in Ikeja might be probably someone in, it might not even be in Nigeria, probably because the water has carried the waste that we generated here in Nigeria to another places that is even not within Nigeria. So waste is a very serious problem that the whole world is trying to look into. So another aspect of ESG is the social aspect of it. And what does the social aspect talks about? It talks about what benefits people. Social means humans. Like the social aspect of ESG is what benefits human and what made them comfortable. So it involves providing safe, accessible, and affordable spaces that improve the quality of life. So this is the factor of the social aspect of ESG. It is such that people's needs are met and we make life very livable for them. And for the governance aspect of it, it is more of the developer aspect of it. It talks about the transparent, ethical, and fair business practices, like ensuring accountability, safety standards, and compliance with regulations. Like I said, the environment aspect is on its own, the social aspect is on its own, but the governance aspect is most times on the part of the developer. That is what the developer does to ensure that the interests of the people are protected. So this is the governance aspect of ESG. So ESG is the tool that helps investors and professionals measure sustainability. Like I said, for a development or for a project to be termed sustainable in real estate, it must be able to tick these three factors that we've highlighted: the environmental, the social, and the governance. And in the course of the training, I would open our eyes on how we as a real estate company, we can make our products sustainable. So it is no longer enough to say a project is eco-friendly or community-driven. ESG provides the data and standards that prove it. You know, in this part of the world, we have this saying that show workings. So ESG is the one that make you show your workings that okay, actually your product is actually sustainable. If you check your product with this ESG guideline and you find out that you are lagging behind in any part of it, so it means that the sustainability that we are talking about, we are not showing the workings of the sustainability. So we are guilty of probably a part of it or parts of it. So ESG is what will make us tick all boxes before we can say our products are actually sustainable. That is, in the environmental aspect of it, we've protected the environment. In the social aspect of it, we've been able to put people at the center of it. We are able to provide what people actually need for their daily life. And for the governance aspect of it, we are transparent enough about our documentations, about what we are offering people, and they see what we're actually doing. So this is what will make them see us as, okay, fine, this guy's product is actually sustainable. Now, sustainability and ESG, the new foundations of real estate. Now, this now takes us to why we are taking this training today. Because when we talk about sustainability, my initial talks about sustainability is, now we are just into selling lands and this side. So why are we now bringing on the future generation? And here at Adbond Harvest and Homes, we talk about securing future space. And where are we securing the future space for? Is for the next generation. So this is just like an avenue to open our eyes on how we can employ sustainability and ESG approaches to make the future space that we are securing more secured. Let me put it that way, if there is any word like that. We are making the future space that we are securing more secured, actually. So now, sustainability and ESG plays a huge role in shaping the environment. Just like I have said, the environment is the major part of it. Without the environment, there is nothing we can do. And building alone consumes nearly 40% of the world's energy and are responsible for a similar share of carbon emissions. That is more than cars and planes combined together. So this is further emphasizing the adverse effects of humans' activities on the environment. We can just look at, okay, we are just building our houses, we are living in our houses. But when we check into the effects of what we are doing in our houses, and once we compare it to even the carbon emissions from cars that we are talking about, for even from planes combined together, we can see that building of houses produce more carbon emissions than these so-called sources of emissions that we highlight. For instance, now we burn gases in our homes to cook, and there are some times that, most especially people like me, that we don't that we are not so conversant with what we are cooking at home. We spend more than enough time to burn our gases, and in the process of that, probably we offer burnt offerings. So all those kind of things are harming the environment. And what about the appliances we use at home? Our freezers, our air conditioners, all these things are in one way or the other affecting the environment. So now, how can we reduce the effects of these of our activities on the environment? So that is what sustainability is talking about. So the same, and it's very important for us to know that I've talked about the negative side of our building projects and all, but it is also important to stress that this housing sector, this real estate sector, can also go about to create greener cities, smarter investments, and stronger communities. Without we building houses, without we creating communities, our society will not be good. So that takes us back to the definition of sustainability. We should satisfy our human needs presently, but we shouldn't jeopardize that of the future. So how can we go about this? It's by creating greener cities and stronger communities. Once we have greener cities, we have trees everywhere, we have open spaces where we have greeneries in the places. So with that, we can reduce our carbon print on the environment. So that is the promise of sustainability and ESG, a real estate industry that delivers value while protecting the planet and improving lives. This is the tenet of what we are talking about today. We are trying to protect the planet, the earth. When I say planet, I meant earth. So we want to protect the planet while we also improve our lives generally. So the future of real estate. Green is the new gold. The future belongs to developers and professionals who can merge designs, profit, purpose into every square meter they create. Here at Adbond Harvest and Homes, when I came in here, let me just share this with us. When I came in here, it was here that I know that we sell 150 square meters of land. When I was speaking with the architecture team, I said, is this actually very possible? I doubted it initially. So recently, the CEO told me that, Mr. Timothy, you must find what we can actually do with 150 square meters of land. I said, okay, fine. I'll see what I can do with that. So the first thing that came to my mind is, number one, green spaces must be provided within every development that we have. So that's where the idea of lofty homes came into being. We used around 65 square meters of land to have a very modern living for people, while we reduce our imprint. A random developer can say, I have 150 square meters of land, I'm developing all the 150 square meters of land. No. This is such that the new goal that we are looking at is greenery. A place that we don't have greenery would be like the first picture that I was showing onto us. We have squalor settlements where people don't have bare spaces, where disease can just easily break out. So greenery is the new gold mine in real estate developments now. Once you want to sell properties to people, they will ask you that, okay, one of the questions they will have is, do I have an ample parking space? Once they ask of ample parking space, the next thing is, do I have a place that I can sit down in the evening that is just free from, like, under the shade? And so it's not now making sense for you that you are a real estate person and you are selling product that people just have to be in a box of concrete, 24 hours, 7 days, 365 days in a year. So that's not what real estate is looking at now. Real estate is looking at, how can we infuse greenery into whatever we are building? We can see this image here, though it looks blurry, but we can see that the facade is made of, we have plants in the facade, everywhere is green. So this is what the real estate development in the future is looking like now. We want to have green within our spaces. And why do we want to have green in our spaces? It's just to reduce the negative effect of our actions on the environment. Like I said initially, the opening code said we borrowed it. And once you borrow something from someone, it's better you return it in the same state and not below the state. It's either you return it the same state or better than the way you borrowed it from the person. If you are returning it worse than the way you've collected it from the person, it shows that you are a very bad person. Sorry to use that word, but that's just actually the truth. So our future generation deserves better from us. They deserve better from us. And what are the actions that we are taking to make them have a better future? If the past generation have left it better for us, we won't be meeting this kind of situations that we have now. Definitely, Lagos State won't be having this much of flooding that they have now. Definitely, Lagos State might not be having this kind of heat that you feel during the dry season or when you have little shortage of rain. You can see everywhere is hot. But this is what we are clamoring for now: green spaces within our urban cities. So now, before we go to the concluding part of the training, I want to ask us, it's just a form of question to the whole house and to our audience online too. Now, Adbond Harvest and Homes, we've talked about ESG, the environment, the social and the governance aspect of it. How have we been able to achieve this in our projects over time? Over time, we are always saying that Adbond Harvest and Home, we are into sustainable development. We make use of the SDGs, which borders about sustainability. But when we talked about the boxes that we talked about, the environmental, the social, and the governance aspects of sustainability, how have we been able to tick those boxes? Can we actually say Adbond Harvest and Homes is actually sustainable? I would say yes. And these are my reasons. For instance, when we talk about our spaces, and you can see our visualizations of cities that we have before now, you can see that we have ample spaces for our greeneries. We can see that within our layouts and our 3D visualizations, we can see that we have green spaces, enough green spaces to take care of for the whatever carbon imprint that we are putting on the environment. So on the environmental aspect of it, we tick the box. And when we talk about the social aspect of it, social aspect is talking about you giving people what they need, the pedestrian way, and also another main important aspect of the social is making the products cheap to the people. That's another aspect of the social ESG, the social aspect of it. When you provide the facilities for people, you also make it such that people can actually easily afford it. So that is why we have different land sizes and payment option plans for people to go about that. So that's on the aspect of the social aspect of it. I can say we tick also that box. And when we are talking about the governance aspect of it, Adbond Harvest and Home is making all documentations and all necessary documentation with all necessary bodies. We are also looking at perfecting all necessary documentations from the ones, for instance, when we get our lands from the people, like from when we get our lands, we make sure that we perfect all documentations at the local level, and we also go to the state government to obtain C of O, registered survey, and every other land documentation, which is the major focus of the governance aspect of ESG. So documentation aspect of it, I can say we also tick that box. So once we are talking about sustainability in real estate development, I say Adbond Harvest and Home tick all box. All right. For any questions, suggestions, and reviews, you can do well to drop them in the comment section below. Thank you very much. Stay blessed.